Morning guys and girls, how are we doing? So, part 3 of the Spit. Now, as you can see, I have kind of galloped on it, I got a bit carried away. But this is where I'm at with her. So, I've just put the two, I put the grey on yesterday, and then I've done the camo freehand today. And she's come out looking quite nice, to be quite honest with you. So I'm happy with that. Now, this panel here, I've had to cut there and then extend it, because when it went in the bottom, it all looked nice when it lined up, but when the engine went in, this thing was just, it was about 1 millimetre too short, so I just had to extend it. Now, if it's not going to play ball and it's going to look a load of rubbish, then I'm going to leave it off. That's a bit of bloody crap. Then I'll leave it off. Because the simple reason being is the amount of detail I've put on the engine. So, without further ado, let's unmask the engine, because I've got no more painting to do this way. The only thing I've got to do now is just the underside. So that's the only thing I've got left to paint now, and I can remask the engine. But I've posted up on places like Facebook as to where I'm going with her, and how she's progressing, and yeah, some nice bit of feedback. It's always nice to just have people comment on it. So I don't get much of a chance to chat to many people, and they sort of asked, how's the kit in general? Amazing kit. It goes together well. Can't really fault it. I know, there are some builds out there that are, but I think they've got their little quirky bits, but then, what doesn't have quirky bits? Little cranky bits like that panel there. And there we are. Right, there we go. Right, so there's the engine now. Not sure how good this is going to do, but there you go. You can see that. I don't know. Here's one here. So as you can see, I've added some wire in there, goes down into that solenoid, and then the wiring that comes out the top of this pipe, I presume, is a water temperature gauge. Then I've painted the brass pipe work. Then you've got the water, I think this is the water coolant in there. I know that's the oil sump, or the oil tank. And then you've got the fuel tank there, and the fuel tank in the wings, I think. Although actually, I don't think there is any fuel tanks in the wings. I'm going to turn it around and look at the other side. And then I've got some brass work here. I've still got to put a tiny little piece of equipment there, another like solenoid looking thing. This side's got the exhaust on, the other side hasn't yet. You can see the starter motor and the wires coming out of there, and again another wire out of another temp pipe on that side. So it was and then on the underside, in the Tamiya kit you get this plate. I don't really know what it's for, but it is there on mine, and it was there on this guy's bird as well, Johnny Johnson's. And I don't know if you can see, but you get a little scratch mark. All I've got to do now is just add some oil where the oil and fuel's leaked out the engine, just dirty that up a bit using Tamiya bits and bobs. Come around to the radiators, and then in the back I've added these struts that should be there, and I think that you can just about see it in there in front of the tip is the actuator arm that actuates these up and down. I've done it on both sides, so you can see that there. I used Tamiya Shining Silver lacquer just to waz that in there. So I'll put the lighter in there today, a bit later on. I've left the guns out and the panels out on this side. This side I'll put the guns in and glue the panels in. I'm not sure what I'm going to do because the guns aren't really that detailed. So, you know, I don't know what I'll do yet. Probably just glue them in. So we've got that there. Let's have a look. Got to have a little look. Oh, plenty of that tape, so I'll bung some more. Little look with a spinner on, or a propeller, whatever you want to call it. So that's over there, prop. I've also got here. I sprayed the Bakelite antenna. Excuse me, and the rear view mirror. That's it on there. That'll go in there. That's actually quite a tight fit, so you know you could just push it in and leave it as such. As you can see, I've masked all the canopy up. I'll leave that on there for now because obviously this has got to have the decals put on and then a final coat and to seal it all in, and then a bit of a wash. I've also got two of these doors. Now this is always upside down. So this is the open one. As you see the little lip there with the hinge, yeah. And at the moment I've got the closed one on there. I will have the open one on there when it's finished. So yeah, so there we go. So that's where I'm at the moment, folks. A lot of work I put into the engine because at the end of the day it's a bit of a showpiece, that engine, and I think it deserves it. As you can see, the other thing as well is these panel frames. I've had the panels on, and that's how I know that this bottom one was a little bit cranky. It was a little bit short, but it goes on there now, and it actually clips quite tight into there. But like anything you make with all these things, it's these things here which tend to make it not fit how you want it to. So I've got a feeling that you know, they kind of must have designed it to look like this, and then the panels came afterwards. You know, yeah, we got the panels because they're all separate. So the one they went and had a look at, they obviously stripped the panels off of it and then put it all back together afterwards. But it's not that it can't be fit. I know Nigel's modelling bench is working out what he can do with these. So I've kind of run out of ideas. He's an engineer, Nigel. So say it. Because I'm thinking of getting another one of these, and when I do, I might just put the cowlings on with the engine in it so you can have them on and off. But this one, a lot of the time, oh, excuse me, a lot of the pictures I've seen of Johnny Johnson's bird when it's been sat there, they have had the cowlings off. So it obviously gets, because it was an ace aircraft, and he was the ace, they obviously maintained it pretty damn well. It's not going to have much weathering on it because in all the photos I've seen again, down the pub where he used to drink and from the airfield he used to fly out of, again, it didn't look like there was a lot going on. It was kept quite a nice aircraft, even right to the bitter end when it met the scrapyard man. But yeah, so there she is, folks. Obviously, when it came to, I can't remember if in the last video I just put this and the wings together. Obviously the tailplanes were glued in at an early stage. The guns went on. These are quite a tight fit, so they go on nicely. Don't have to worry about lining them up too much. Same with the prop and what have you. But also another thing with this as well, with the prop, I didn't show you this, but basically I thought to myself, there's a lot of work gone on behind here. So as you can see, I've put it in the wrong holes, but I want to have it so you can take it off, and then, you know, if you wanted to show it in maintenance, there she is. She's just had a prop change. Now I do know that with these props, if you want to weather the prop, the actual blades, don't weather them too much. You just want to put a couple of little tiny, you know, aluminium marks, because a lot of these blades were wood. They used to make them out of wood, so when people go and chip them up with aluminium, it's not always correct. So you got to like make sure that you know what blades were fitted to that aircraft at the time. But they used to put like a metal edge, because the propeller went this way like this, so that was the cutting edge through the sky, the thing that was dragging it. So all I would do is I would just put tiny on, because the minute these things got marked, they used to take them off and put a new set on, and then they used to go away and refurbish them, because that was the one thing on this aeroplane, and along with all the Mustangs and everything else that they couldn't afford to have, you know, it battered to hell. So when you see people that just go in and go bang, you know, there's tons of chipping and screwing. No, it didn't happen like that. It's they used to have, you know, some tiny little chip in here. It used to be because this was this bit here was going at speed, but this piece here would be going at nearly supersonic speed. So this would get more wear and tear up here than this bit down here. And I've always, if I have ever seen them with photos that are chipped, they're normally chipped from about here to the tip, but it's not much, which is why I'm not going to bother with this one. I'm just going to leave it as it is, because obviously him being an ace, you know, they wouldn't have had much going on. But yeah, so anyway, there's the top of the engine there. So there's not really a lot going on. I've checked the cover. I spoke to Nigel not that long ago, actually. It was one of his live sessions, and I spoke to him about the engine. Now, I've got loads of pictures on these things in wartime, but unfortunately I haven't got any of the bloody stuff here, the books here, which is a real pain, because it shows you all the pictures. I've got, like I say, a few more pictures of Johnny John's. I think there's a book called Spitfire at War or something like that. They did quite a few of these: Spitfire at War, Lancaster at War, P-47 Liberator, Mosquito, Typhoon. They were hardback books, and they're pretty good for reference. Most of the pictures are in there in black and white, but you can get an idea, because that's only black anyway. So you get an idea of how it used to look. But just going back to the prop here, so that's what I did. I glued two little two little pegs inside there, offset, right, and then they just go and plug into the holes that I'm going to blimey, I'm gonna sneeze. I don't know why that is. It's probably because I've been spraying in here, but yeah, so we're getting there now. The panels for this one, like I say, until I see whatever Nigel comes up with, I've got them, and you know, they do fit on. I've started to spray a bit of that one, but I thought to myself, do you know what? No, I'll just leave the whole thing as it is, and just you know, see where we end up. So like I say, there's a little bit of tidying up to do on the top edge of that, because I can see where some washers leaked over and what have you. So yeah, but other than that, there she is. She's a beautiful kit. I think it's that bearded bloke, isn't it? My job, bearded bloke, because I can't think of him, but the Asian chap's got a beard and all, isn't he? But it's not him. Chris, I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Chris that had most of the... I think he had most of this project. Well, if anyone knows him, tell him from me that you've done an exceedingly good job. I've made a lot of models in the past, and there has been a lot of Airfix, But if we've got a bloke like him designing kits, I mean, don't get me wrong, I can't think of his Paranjit, and it is the Asian chap. He's designed that Buccaneer was superb. You know, that was the best thing that come out of Airfix in 48 scale, jet wise. And I can't wait for him to do the RAF version, because that's the one. You know, I've made the Navy version, but I'm not a Navy bloke. But yeah, that was good. But Chris, I'm pretty sure it's Chris, the one with the beard and the curly. He looks like a clown, but without the makeup. But yeah, him. You know, he's done a real mighty fine job on this, and yeah, well done, mate. You know, if you got a pay rise, then yeah, you deserve it, pal. You absolutely deserve it through and through. She goes together great. Everything fits. And this is why I'm saying that somebody who's a beginner, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm adamant that a beginner can pick this kit up. I mean, I don't think I'll give it to me 6-year-old son, but somebody with half ounce of common, you know, could pick this up. You know how to glue bits together. That's why I can't be asked with the gluing of the model together, because everybody knows how to glue things, unless there's anything specific in it. You know, so, but yeah, no, this is it's a real dream and a pleasure to actually work on something like this, getting it together. I've just noticed there's a couple of ripple lines there. What's that then? Oh, I don't know what that is. A little bit of light sanding and sort that out. Use that as a wear down pad. And all I've got to do now is put the yellow stripes up the wingtips to there, which were just over the guns. I think they came down to about halfway between there and then went up there to there. Got to put those on. And then that's the leading edges finished. That's pretty much paint job done, but I'll do them last because I've got to do the grey on the underside. Won't put the mirror on yet, won't put the aerial. This thing here, now they say it is a light. I've looked, and in the pictures that I've seen of Johnny Johnson's bird, that light there looks like it's red. Although I don't think, where the bloody hell the... Oh, yeah, here. Yeah, see, in here, they just show you it as... Hang on. They just show you it as being clear. That light there. So... Yeah, I don't know. If it's clear or what it is. This is how clean Johnny Johnson's bird was. Yeah. In all the pictures I've got, there's no smoke trail going over there where it's been used that much. There's nothing. It is absolutely pristine, the bloody thing, right up to the last. So yeah, so I've just got this to do here, and then I've got to paint the stripe around the back, because obviously you don't get that in a kit, and that's probably a good thing, because trying to get them things to fit round the back of there, that can be a real pain in the butt. So oh no, the yellow stripes, they start here, so they start literally there, and then they go out to there, so they're only that long instead of in here. Right, there you go. You know, something new every day. So yeah, so that's it. That's the one I'm doing. Yeah, no, quite chuffed. I don't think I've got anything here on the on the glass. I can see that these pieces here must be cameras. It looks like they might do a photo recon version in one point. You get a square or a rectangular mirror there, which sits on the top of there. Different head-up display. That's part of... I'm not sure it's part of this, but it is part of a head-up display. And then obviously you got your wing lights still there, but they're to go on in a bit. I'm not going to put them on right now. No, I can't remember what that was for. That might be for something else, because I know the light on the underside I've got in the tub over there, because I had to sand it down. As it looks like this, yeah, so that's what it looks like, but a lot smaller. But the middle had a dimple like that, but it was in like that. So I've had to sand it down to try and get it as flat as I can. And yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the arse, really. So yeah, so I've just got a few bits left in there now. The wheels, literally, is about it. There's another head-up display, different type of head-up display. So there we are. That's where we're at with it. Now I used these two paints. So that's your ocean grey, which is that, and that's your bronze green, which is that. The reason I used the Mr. colour for the bronze green is it's a little bit more darky green than this one, which is the colour, which is the RAF colour that Tamiya do. So it's, as you can see that. So, and then the underside will be the Tamiya RF medium sea grey. So that'll be the next colour that goes on the entire underside of it. For the band at the back, I used this, which is 368 Sky Mr. colour. Again, much better colour than the Tamiya one. The Tamiya one's a little bit, yeah. So yeah, so that's what's it. And then the yellow, what yellow I'm going to use? To have a look and see whether there's anything in this thing. Typical, I'm getting it open. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. So the yellow I'll be using will be this. Yeah, number 329 yellow, Mr. colour again. And hang on, I've just got a... Oh, bloody hell, struggling to breathe there. God, yeah, since I started that thing, I don't know what's sparked me bloody hay fever off in here. I had the heater fan going a little while ago, because it gets quite cold in here in the mornings. And until we've had such people round to have a look, because the loft isn't insulated. And yeah, boy, when that snow fell, it did get quite cold in here. Oh dear, I think it went down to about 5 degrees, and you can see your breath, and it was no good for doing any modelling, because sitting here in this corner was like sitting in a fridge. I mean, well, actually it was like sitting in a freezer, because most of the time, even now, the tips of my knees are bloody cold, and I have to keep rubbing to warm them up, like, you know, because otherwise you end up getting bloody achy knees. But yeah, anyway, that's another thing. So, right, yeah, so there we are. I'm happy with it. She's looking good. I will do the underside. No point in me making a video about spraying the stuff, because to try and spray and have the phone here. And by the way, there was a chap, I can't remember his name. He said in one of my videos that the sound was a bit cranky. Well, I've got this new phone now. This is what I'm using now. So I don't know. I mean, I always go and have a listen before I put it on. But the thing is, it might sound all right to me. It's like sometimes I look and I think to myself, oh no, look, all the bloody lot's blurred, you know. But it hasn't gone blurred, because I look on a mate's iPad or his iPhone, he shows me, and I think, oh, it's ginger clear then. It's crystal clear, not ginger clear. I'm like my mum and get all my sayings right. So, yeah, it's crystal clear. Talk to the devil, it's probably him now. Oh no, it ain't, someone else. Yeah, and so what looks wrong or sounds wrong to me on my phone when I listen back and just have a quick whiz through this, yeah, just let us know. If the sound's all right, give us a thumbs up. And yeah, just let us know. So whoever that chap was, like I say, I can't remember your name. Yeah, if it's all sounding all right, and yeah, we're good to go. I know that the picture quality should be a lot better now, because this is a much better high grade phone. So yeah, but I'll get the underside sprayed, and then the next thing would be to just give it a quick sealing again, and then it will be putting the decals on. So I've got a big sheet of decals, but not many decals go on this. And then once that's done, it'll just be the final finish of it, and yeah, and then where to put it. I've got no shelves in here, and the shelves behind me are a bit too small, really. I ain't got a bloody clue where I'm going to put it. I've got a museum downstairs. I could always say to them, any chance you got a space for this? I'll put it in one of your cupboards until I move. Anything is, I've got a feeling they'll probably turn and say, can we keep it? Yeah, righto. Or I suppose I could see if I could put it in my mate's museum, which I'll give him a shout, actually. It's the Wings Museum. It's in Balcombe, which is in Sussex. And yeah, it's a good little museum. He has a lot of... He doesn't have whole planes in there. He has lots of wrecks and stuff that he's been and dug up. And there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. It's kind of a museum you walk into, and if you're expecting something like Hendon, forget it. It's not like that. But when you walk in there and you start looking around at all the uniforms, the badges, the bullets, the parts of aircraft they've found and stuff, and I've been on, I think there's 1 or 2 digs with him. We went to find a Messerschmitt 109 that was in Surrey, and we're digging up the bits and loads of shells and stuff from these air, because the actual main wrecks are taken away and they're disposed of. But yeah, and it's an interesting museum. He's an interesting lad. He used to be in my model club because he started making his own models for putting into his museum, but he was finding that he was just a bit too slow at it, so he wasn't getting any done. And a lot of people would come along and say, hey, do you want these, do you want this, do you want these, do you want this? And he was getting really rubbish models. But where I used to live, I only lived around the corner from him. But none of my models went into his museum, because I used to build a lot of Cold War jets and modern stuff. And then it was at one particular time someone said, oh, why don't you ever go out doing a World War II plane? Yeah, all right. And then, of course, it just, after that, yeah, it flew. But then we've moved. So he might like this in his museum. Once I've done it, maybe to just, show it off a bit. So, So, yeah, so that's the Wings Museum in Balcombe. So it's a nice little place in a quiet part of the countryside. It's on a farm, so, and he's got a massive hangar there, and there's... and I think the DC-3 or C-47 that he's got in there was used in one of the war films. I can't remember if it was Band of Brothers or something like that. But yeah, it's got it on there. It's got a little plaque and stuff of what it was used for. Anyway, so that's that. So anyway, we haven't got to the stage where we're nearly at the finish line, but we're not quite there yet. So. Yeah, so there it is. That's the Spitfire. That's where we're at. She's looking good. Soon be good to go. You can almost hear her running up now. Not that I want to, but it was just a shame I don't live near Biggin Hill anymore. But it's not a million miles up the road, but it's where it used to only be about 2 or 3 miles away. It's now about 9 or 10. And I used to hear these things start up every morning, and they used to run them up, and before the old punters used to come along and they'd go for their flies in them. And it was quite something to hear these Merlins running in the morning. You might get 2 or 3 of them go out, and then they used to, I think one morning I heard, I think it was 6 of them, and they all went up. And I think only 2 came back, so I don't know where the other 4 went. There must have been a stopover or something. Maybe the BBMF stopped over down there, or, I don't know, maybe Peter Monk had his Spitfire there. I don't know whether he keeps it there or he keeps it somewhere else. I presume he keeps it there. But anyway, right. So anyway, I'm going to crack on. That's breathe again. So anyway, folks, hope you had a good Christmas. Well, I got this for Christmas. So it's a dual pack Edward set, 148 scale, Korean Mustangs. That's it, but that'll do. So, yeah, hope you got what you wanted. And you've added to your stash, and you never know. Hopefully you've got one of these, in which case, yeah, great stuff. So, yes, anyway, so we'll put her there out of the way a bit so I don't punch or knock it or me and my hands. So I'm looking at the screen here, so I can't judge how far that thing's away from me hand, like, you know. So, yeah. But anyway, I've noticed that my subs have gone up quite some over the Christmas period. So I welcome you new guys. Hi, I'm Clive as well, by the way. Oh, well, you know that because it's Clive's modelling show, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, fuck. So, yeah, welcome you on board. Hope you like what you see and I hope you stay for the duration. There's more of this to come. I definitely think I will get another one because I've just learned over the last 48 hours that there is a masking set for all the stuff that I need to do the next one, and it's now out. And oh dear, so the next one I'll do will be ZDB McLean. I think that's what it's called, isn't it? But it's MH434, and yeah, I'll do her, yeah, and we'll go from there. So yeah. Well, share my videos if you want to share them on YouTube and, you know, Instagram or anything else. I know there's a couple of you that do. And, yeah, thanks a lot. I think I'm one away from 900 subs now. So, gradually getting it. Like I say, I don't know what this thing is. Everybody hypes up something about a big 1,000, but I don't know. Maybe they give me a flag or something, or a badge, a YouTube badge. I don't know. I'm not bothered. But I don't know, it's this big thing, innit? The next big thing is 1,000 subscribers, and after that, I haven't got a bloody clue what it'll be. No, I ain't got a bloody clue. But anyway, if you like what you see, stick with us, because, yeah, there's obviously more, well, as it goes on, different models. There's always different models, different subjects, different things. So, yeah. Right, okie doke, I'm going to disappear, because I'm going to crack on with this because I can't do it while I'm using the phone. So what I'll do is I'll say TTFN, ta-da for now. There you go. Have a safe and happy new year. Don't drink yourselves too stupid, but have a drink and chill out. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.